what? I don't. Yes. Yes, I do have it. It's just out of order. Go to the one that says chapter 80, some labors forbidden on the Sabbath. So this is still about Sabbath law, but this is now in the Schaarai, that code of law. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. Some labors, you go to chapter 80. Some labors forbidden on the Sabbath. The principal works we are forbidden to perform on the Sabbath are already known to most of the children of Israel. The list given herein comprises works that are not generally known. See how it has to get more nitty-gritty, more sophisticated, more detailed. They are common things performed in the course of our daily lives. 1. It's forbidden to do work that requires concentration before a lamp. The rabbis have forbidden this, lest one forgets and tilts the lamp in order to bring the oil closer to the wick and would be guilty of igniting. Okay? You're not supposed to light a fire in your habitations. By this period, the 15th century, 1600s, it says here, even if you're reading by candlelight, you need to get a little more oil into that wick to get a brighter light. That might look like kindling. Not allowed to do it. 2 persons, however, may read one subject out of one book, because if one will attempt to tilt it, the other one will remind him. It is, however, the prevailing custom to bring it studying before the light of our modern candles, in which the tallow or the wax firmly sticks to the wick, because then you're not technically lighting. They didn't have electricity, obviously. But one must make a certain mark so as to remember not to snuff off the wick. According to the view of Maimonides, the last named act is a violation of a Mosaic law. It is impermissible to snuff out the wick even through a non-Jew. Now let me tell you what that is. 39 categories of work were not allowed to Jews on Shabbat from Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown. But you could hire a Shabbos goy. Now, a goy is a non-Jew. And you could hire, therefore, a non-Jew to do what you as a Jew are not allowed to do. Great story. When Donna and I was in rabbinical school in New York, and we ended up in an apartment. We got it because the rent control was so cheap. It was $125 a month, including electricity for 3 bedrooms, a large foyer, a big kitchen, and a big living room. No air conditioning or anything. But it was an all-Orthodox, mostly Orthodox building. In fact, I have to tell you, that's the sukkah. Rabbi's going to show you that he and I designed and cut and set up, because we're going to show you how you can make your own sukkah. When Donna and I moved into our apartment, we found that it was in the apartment of a rabbi and his wife. They left the mezuzah up because they knew that we were Jewish. We got into the apartment and we were, putting things away in the closet, and there were 4 tall poles. And we knew they weren't ours. We figured the previous resident, had them, but we didn't know where to find them. And we didn't need them, so we threw them out. Sukkot comes along, knock on the door. It's time for us to set up our sukkah, and you have the major poles. We were not the favorites there. They knew that I was Reform and in rabbinical school. They insisted on calling me Ruvain, which is my Hebrew name, and Donna Devorah. We never go by Devorah and Ruvain. Now here's the chutzpah, the nerve of the whole thing. Our building was considered the Eruv, E-R-U-V, which is the Shabbat boundary, out of which you cannot carry anything. But these people would go out on Shabbat. And being an apartment in high-rise in New York, needless to say, the front door was always locked, so you needed a key to get in. But you're not allowed, if you're Orthodox, to carry the key outside the Eruv. So there's no way to get back in. And you have to wait for a Shabbos goy to come along, a non-Jew, and open it for you. Well, Donna and I, not being Orthodox, went shopping, grocery shopping on Shabbat. We would come back, we had our keys, and the Orthodox would be waiting for us, who they considered goyim, we were considered non-Jews, to open the door for them, which we did. Then they would go to their apartments, we would go to ours, and as we walked down the hall, we heard Ruvain, Devorah, shopping on Shabbat again? That's a sin, it's a fake. So it was okay that we were Shabbat Goyim to let them into the door. But once we all got in, we were Jewish and shouldn't have been shopping on Shabbat. Our other sukkah story is just unbelievable. They got new poles, they built a sukkah on the roof, which was high up. Because we were on the second floor and could see over most of the houses, because anyone know Washington Heights? Washington Heights is very, very, you said I had the whole night.
Wait, do you want the whole night?
No.
I heard you were going into the second story, so I thought I'd come say it. I'm kidding.
I'm telling them, I will. I'm telling them mices. You know what a mice is? Story. True story. So they built their sukkah up there. And then what they would do is they would walk up the stairway to go up to the roof in order to bring the food for people to eat in the sukkah. One year, it got real windy and stormy. And what happened is the stuff was blowing out of the sukkah, including the food. And it was falling on people walking on the street. And people were walking around with chicken noodles hanging over their ears. I mean, it was bad. So they had the bright idea of building the sukkah in the basement of the building, because there were these tilt windows, and if you built the sukkah near enough the tilt window, you literally could see up through the sukkah and outside to the stars in the sky. So halakhically, legally, it fell into the right, deal. There's only one problem. You still need to eat in the sukkah. Now, the stairs went up, but there were no stairs into the basement. The only way into the basement was to go out the front door and go into the outside entrance into the basement. But being Orthodox, they couldn't carry their keys outside of the building, and so they didn't want to have to wait for a Shabbos boy to come. You could get down with the elevator all the way to the basement, but being a holiday, a day of rest, you couldn't push the button in the elevator. So they decided that that wouldn't work. So what they did is they hooked up a pulley system with buckets and rope and pulley, took the food up to the roof, put it in the buckets, lowered it with the pulley system into the windows, into the basement, so that they could eat in the sukkah. But they got windy, and the buckets times, people had the noodles on their ears. And the only good thing about it is the fact that Donna and I, having thrown out the poles, became the least. So you can see here then in the labors forbidden on the Sabbath that they really get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Yes? Now, if you look back at this sheet one more time, at the bottom you'll see other codes and commentaries and also responsa literature. Now what happened is if you lived in a major Jewish center and you had a question about what you should do or how to observe, what would happen is you would write a she'ela or a question to the great rabbi at the center, and he would send back a response, a responsa. response, he would tell you, based on his reading of all this Jewish law that we came before, he would tell you what he thought you ought to do, and that then would become, hopefully, the halacha or the law in your community. That was done in ancient times. It's done today. And what I have put, and it's kind of out of place, there's one, if you'll go to a page that says 51, you see that? Reform Responsa 51. Gift corner, open on the Sabbath. You see that? The rabbi, David Polish, wrote, the congregational gift corner provides books and prayer books, candles and candlesticks, hanukkah menorahs, and in other words, it serves a religious purpose. Should this fact not justify keeping the gift corner open on Friday night? It's only on Friday night that large numbers of people coming for the Sabbath service can conveniently make use of the gift corner. Well, what would be the reason not to be able to have it? Huh? The person works there. What else? You'd be bringing, you'd have to carry, payment, all of those things. So it's a big issue, especially if you're Orthodox, and it's an issue we've had here. And we are generally closed Friday night to Saturday. So what I want you to do on your own, please don't just take it home and don't read it. Take it home. I want you to read that. Then the back page is the same thing, different rabbi with a little bit different twist on it. Synagogue, Christ shop, and Shabbat. I had meant for the two to be put together. They were separated by the other. So that you can see the kinds of modern questions based on ancient law that Jews are asking today, and how rabbis today are using all these laws in order to answer the modern question as best they can, because it's a living, breathing, vibrant thing. Rabbi and I will be talking to you starting tonight, and he has already with other holidays, and then as we go into the life cycle events of a Jew, all of the different, you're going to see it tonight, all of the different laws dealing with a given holiday, starting with the Torah, going to the Mishnah, the Gemara, and all of these things. So we wanted you to see what those are, so that when Rabbi says to you, and the Talmud says, or this says, or that says, you know where it is that we're talking about. Okay?
So the first thing that I have to do is apologize. Just this one. Last week, for those who are converting, we have a list of terms that they need to know. And last week when I did High Holy Days, I forgot to address any of the terms. And I think I did address them all, but some of them are Hebrew words that I did not get to. So I just want to start by doing that. So I apologize. All right, Rosh Hashanah. We know what's Rosh Hashanah? The Jewish New Year. Good. And shofar. We got shofar is the ram's horn. Good. Not always a ram, but we'll still call it the ram's horn. Chait. Chait I talked about, but I did not give you that word. Chait is sin. Beautiful. And I did give you the word chait. Why did I give you the word chait? Because the numerical value of the word chait is the same as it's egev, which is the word for nuts, which was why nuts were traditionally not eaten on Yom Kippur, which I told you I didn't know that one until I read it. But, all right, then another one that I talked about but didn't give you the Hebrew word is teshuvah. Teshuvah is repentance. Good. So that, when we talked about, and I drew the spiral on the board and talked about true repentance being when you're presented in the same situation, not repeating the sin again. So teshuvah actually means return or turning back. Slichot. Slichot